Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of my personal favorite things to talk about, and that is Pokemon. But unfortunately, the purpose of this video is not going to be talking about my favorite Pokemon, but instead we are talking about my least favorite Pokemon, and I'm going to be giving them a second chance. Look, for anything, if there's over 1,000 of them, there's at least gonna be one stinker in the bunch. Okay, probably a few. Pokemon has been around for years, and of course there's gonna be some that are everybody's favorite, and some that are everybody's not so favorite. So in today's video, I'm gonna be looking at some Pokemon that I personally think are just a little meh. I don't really care for them for this reason or other, and I'm gonna try to find something positive to say about them. I'm gonna try to find some love, because realistically, every Pokemon out there is somebody's favorite. That all being said, don't go down in the comments and roast me. These are all just opinions. These are all Pokemon that I do not personally care for, but I'm not telling you that you cannot love this Pokemon. Go ahead and love it. I would love if you continue loving whatever Pokemon you would love to love. I'm not telling you to stop liking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches just because I don't like grape jelly. I just may prefer my peanut butter and jelly with the strawberry jelly. Like, don't stop eating the peanut butter and jelly just because I say I like it with a different jelly. You know what I'm saying? But before we go ahead and talk about some Pokemon today, make sure you go down below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more content of mine. My name is Dominic. I'm a huge nerd. I love talking about video games and anime and manga, so if that sounds like something you would enjoy as well, come on, join the crew, hit that subscribe button, and just have some fun. Without any further ado and distracting myself, let's go ahead and dive right on into talking about my least favorite Pokemon. So I don't have any of these in particular order, but the way that I'm going to be going about this is I'm going to pull up a photo of this Pokemon on my phone. I'm going to put it ahead on the screen so you can see it as well, and I'm going to try to look for something that I can enjoy about these Pokemon. We're going to be starting off with a Pokemon that I am not the only one who thinks that this Pokemon is just straight ugly. I mean, I think this Pokemon was meant to be ugly by its design, and that is Bruxish. Bruxish is based off of a particular fish. I don't remember the name of it at this time, but it is supposed to look the way it is supposed to look. That is something about its design that I can appreciate. It looks exactly like what it is supposed to be. All that being said, do I think this Pokemon is hideous? Yes. Do I think this Pokemon is gaudy? Also yes. But look, at the end of the day, I can enjoy a bright color scheme, I can enjoy a bright color palette, and hey, I enjoy that one little eyelash you got going on there. You put on your blue mascara today, and it looks incredible, girl. I love it. Next up is a Pokemon that I feel like never gets talked about. Like, I have never heard anybody talking about this Pokemon, whether it be as a joke, whether it be as someone saying this is their favorite Pokemon. I've legitimately never even heard a conversation about this Pokemon being had. And whether or not that's because it's bad, I don't know. That Pokemon is Stonjourner. Now, Stonjourner, what I can appreciate about Stonjourner, its face is adorable. It's really, really cute. It's giving me like Stonehenge meets like Wow Wow Wubsy. You don't even remember that show. Is that too old of a reference? Oh my god, I'm dating myself. Honestly, like, this Pokemon isn't awful. It just doesn't stand out in any way, shape, or form to me. It's not like incredible in battle. Its design isn't amazing. I know there is somebody out there whose favorite Pokemon is Stonjourner, and I'm talking to you. You specifically. You. Can you see my finger in the camera? You. I'm talking to you. Stonjourner is adorable. There, I said it. Next up, we're going to be talking about someone who is in a starter evolution line, and for those of you who know me personally, you are not shocked that I'm including this Pokemon. Like, this Pokemon being on this list, this has been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming for me talking about this Pokemon, and that Pokemon is Quilladin. I can't even describe why this Pokemon just gives me the ick. I'm so sorry if Chespin is your favorite starter. I'm so sorry if you love the evolution line. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Chespin. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Chestnut. They are perfectly fine. They are fine Pokemon. I'm talking about Quilladin. Quilladin specifically makes me feel uncomfortable. There's just something about Quilladin that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know what it is. If I had to pick something that I don't mind about this Pokemon, honestly, this is gonna be one of the hardest things I have to do today. I like its tooth. I'm being dramatic. I'm being dramatic. Okay. I enjoy the quills on Quilladin. I think that that part of it is nice. I love the bits of red. I love that it matches the red on its nose. Look, y'all, I'm really trying here. I don't enjoy Quilladin. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not my favorite. Next up, we are going to be talking about a Pokemon that has 3 variants, 3 different versions of itself, and still manages to somehow be forgettable, and that is Wormadam. Look, Wormadam may not be amazing by any way, shape, or form, but what I can appreciate about Wormadam is that it at least has 3 different kinds. So if you don't like one, you might like one of the other 2. You never know. If being green and covered in leaves isn't your thing, then maybe you like brown and covered in rocks, or maybe you like pink and covered in trash. If you hate all 3 of them, valid. Totally understandable. But I feel like the nice thing about Wormadam is that there are 3 different ones with 3 different typings, and I think that that is interesting within itself. Next up, we're talking about Unown, and Unown is unknown. Honestly, I don't know what Pokemon was thinking with this thing other than it being a complete gimmick Pokemon, obviously, of it being the alphabet and it being this like ancient kind of lore-y Pokemon that they can draw from, of like a bunch of things being written in Unown. Understandable what they tried to go for with Unown. But I have always just kind of had this issue with it of there are so many for what? Yes, I understand the alphabet, but there are too many of this very lackluster Pokemon for a gimmick, and I don't know. I don't love it. What I can appreciate about Unown is I really, really love the movie that Unown was featured in, the one with Entei. I think that that movie was great. I think also the lore aspect of Unown is very respectable. I always love lore in any way, shape, or form. I love when Pokemon has some deeper aspects to it. But I mean, other than that, Unown has never been amazing to me, but I can respect that at least. Gumshoes. Enough said. You tell me that your favorite Pokemon is Gumshoes? Girl. Okay, this next one is something that I could make a whole video about. This has been like withheld within me for months. Months I've been needing to talk about this, and I'm gonna let it all out. Do you mind? We need to talk about Spidops for just 2 seconds. Why do we have Tarantula, who is this adorable, one of the cutest bugs, arachnid, whatever you want to call it, one of the cutest arachnids I've ever seen in my life, and then it turns into Spidops? Look at this thing. Is it not ugly? Is it not? I'm sorry. Okay, Spidops is somebody's favorite. Okay, I apologize to the Spidops fans in the community. But this thing is awful. I just don't like it. I'm so sorry. Like, Tarantula is so adorable, and its color palette is cute with the whole, like, white of the silk and then the, like, light green. But then Spidops being this, like, mushy, muddy brown color, and then the green doesn't look that appealing, and then, I mean, its eyes are kind of cool. If I had to look for something else positive to say about it, I would say that I think that what it does with its silk is kind of cool. I mean, the move Silk Trap, I think that its silk and its design that it does, that's pretty cool. But other than that, I mean, Spidops, to me, Scarlet and Violet came out and I saw that Tarantula evolved into Spidops, I was heavily disappointed. Probably one of my biggest disappointments of the generation, to be honest. Tarantula just built me all the way up, and then Spidops just tore me all the way down. Next up is a Pokemon that I don't hate, I just wonder why it exists. Okay, that just sounded like a lot. Okay, I'm talking about Shroodle. Shroodle, I feel like, didn't need to be a thing. You know what I'm saying? I think Grafaiai would have been a completely good enough, fine Pokemon either on its own or having a further evolution, give it like a bigger base stat total, give it like a different design, maybe like centering more on the paint, making it a little larger. There's something more that could have been done with Grafaiai. It just feels a little incomplete. Giving Grafaiai a pre-evolution is not what it needed. Now, if I'm going to talk about the things that I can appreciate about Shroodle, I love the hair tuft, I love the little teeth, I think that it is very, very cute. And I think to me, in my eyes, this is kind of like a baby Pokemon situation of, they just don't seem that useful, they just don't seem like they need to be there, and I know that's a bold opinion. I know some people love the baby Pokemon, and look, Togepi is one of my favorite Pokemon to ever exist. But I just feel like for the Grafaiai line specifically, Shroodle just wasn't needed. You know, she could have stayed at home, she could have had a sick day, we didn't need her to come in. Now, this next one is, I am just confused by these Pokemon, and that is Volbeat and Illumise. And I'm just going to talk about them together because they're essentially the same Pokemon, let's be real. No one really cares about Volbeat or Illumise, and I think that they are cute in the terms of like having a Firefly Pokemon is great. I just wish that the Firefly Pokemon that we had was better. I think with a Firefly Pokemon, there's so many possibilities. I mean, this could have been a Bug and Fire type. This could have been something that was really cool. We could have a Bug Fairy type with something to do with the light. And of course, Volbeat and Illumise came out in Generation 3, so maybe if they came out later, they would have had something better going for them. If I had to talk about positives in terms of these two, I think that their shinies are cool. I can appreciate their shiny colors. I especially like Illumise's going from the purple to the gold. I think that one's really, really nice. So I think their shinies are cool. They're definitely worth getting in my opinion, because I think any shiny that is that drastic of a change, like it's a very large color difference, I think is worth it. But these are Pokemon that honestly I would love to see them get some type of love in the future. I wouldn't put these two in the category of like gimmick Pokemon that I think are off forever getting like a regional or an evolution. Like I don't think that they are impossible to work upon. I just don't think that anyone at Game Freak remembers them enough to do so. Now, I could talk about Hypno, but do I really have to? I mean, y'all know that this thing is creepy. No one wants a Hypno on their team. Like, let's be honest. If you want a Hypno on your team, I don't trust you. Like, I don't trust you. There are plenty of other psychic type Pokemon in Generation 1 for you to choose from. And if you specifically chose Hypno out of any of those psychic types, I got some questions. And those questions will have to be asked in a super safe environment because I don't want to be anywhere near whatever you got going on if you're out here picking Hypno. The only thing about Hypno that I can say that I kind of appreciate is I think that its hypnotism thing is cool. I think that it carries around the coin. That's cool. But honestly, just because of what it uses it for, I can't even say that I like it that much. I don't like it. I don't want a Hypno anywhere near me. I just do not like it at all. And we have finally made our way to our last Pokemon that we're going to be talking about today on my list of least favorite Pokemon, and that is going to be probably the one that I think is the most ugly, the most out of all of them. We're talking about Diggersby. I don't know. It gets huge power. That's cool. Normal ground is a pretty good typing, and I can't tell if I'm swayed by this Pokemon because I just don't have a thing for mud. Like, I've always been like grossed out by mud. Like, I just have never been a mud person. Anytime I touch mud, I don't like it. And the fact that this is like a rabbit covered in mud, but it also just doesn't look great. Let's be honest. Who's looking at Diggersby? Tell me if you look at Diggersby and you're like, oh yeah, this is a beautiful Pokemon. Girl, please. I know there is someone out there who probably thinks that Diggersby is cute. It looks like fluffy and adorable. It's a rabbit, but girl, it's covered in mud. It's covered in dirt. Like, you're not trying to hug this thing. Do I think that it's useful in battle, especially for an early game, like, normal type? Yeah, for sure. Especially with that ground typing with huge power, like, for sure. Diggersby is a useful Pokemon. It's just not a visually appealing Pokemon. To me, for me personally, I'm not a big fan. And there you have it. We talked about and roasted some of my least favorite Pokemon today, and I tried my best, y'all, to give them a second chance. I tried my best to find some good things to talk about for all of them, most of them. I'm looking at you, Hypno. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you go down below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel to see more content of mine. And comment question of the day, let me know down in the comment section below what your least favorite Pokemon is, and try to also think of one redeeming or nice thing to say about it as well. Also, let me know if you agree with any of the things I mentioned in today's video, or let me know if any of these Pokemon happen to be your favorite, and if they are, then I am so sorry for my opinions on this day. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye!